I hope everybody's doing okay today. This is what we did yesterday. It has a couple of hints, molecules, and then it also has grams. So that tells you that you're going to have to use 2 conversion factors. So it's the longer one. Don't bang on my door. Don't bang on my door. So it's going to be our longer one that we did. All right, like I said, we have 2 hints, molecules and then grams. Molecules tells me we're going to have to, Angel, what do we need to do every time you come in here? Yep. Molecules tells me I'm using Avogadro's number. Grams tells me I'm using molar mass. And those little hints kind of help you out. So I have 2.02 grams of water of H2O. And I want to convert that to molecules of H2O. So I'm going to follow my units. If I'm grams of H2O here, I have to be grams down a diagonal. So anytime I see grams, that's where I'm going to do a molar mass. Since this is a compound, I would have to take the 16 for oxygen. And then hydrogen is 1.01, but I have 2 of them, so that would be 2.02. So that would give me 18.02 grams per 1 mole. And then I would continue on. If I'm moles here, I have to be moles down here. We see molecules, which is one of our particles, so that's where my Avogadro's number is going to go. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd per 1 mole. All right, just double check that my units canceled. They did. I'm left with just molecules, which is what I needed. So I would multiply across 2.02 times Avogadro's number, and I would get myself an answer and divide by 18.02. I started with 3 sig figs, so I would want my answer to have 3 sig figs. So 6.75 times 10 to the 22nd molecules. So there'll be some like this on the test, and then there'll also be some of the shorter ones, which were just 2-step that we kind of looked at more on Friday. All right, before we take our quiz, I want to point out something to you in your Google Classroom. And did y'all get one of these? Crystal, did you get one up there? Or Angel, if you got one up there? So you have a chance to earn some extra points. This 6 weeks. So if you look down in your daily work under Dead Chemist Extra Point Opportunity, that will give you the information. So you're picking out a chemist and you're writing a obituary about them. And then you're also making a headstone. Obituary is different from just a report. So I've included some obituary examples. Because if you just do a report on them, that will not gain you credit. All this information needs to be included in your obituary, and just like it says here, the things that have asterisks, those 5 things that have asterisks, need it to be on the headstone. So that those 5 things will be duplicated in the obituary and then also on the headstone. You have until the 15th to pick out your scientist, your chemist, and have it approved by me, and then the actual project is due on the 27th. So the project is the obituary and a physical headstone with the required information. And that headstone will have to be delivered up here to the school by the 27th. So even though y'all are virtual, somebody will have to run that up to the school for you to get credit. The very last page on here is the chemist you want to use, and then your name, and you'll need to fill that out and email it to me. And then when I approve it, I will email it back to you. This little project is due will add 5 points to your second 6 weeks average. So if your average is a 68 and you do this, it'll bring it up to 73. If your average is a 95 and you do this, it'll bring it up to 100. But it's an all or nothing grade. If you've done it correctly, if it's on time, etc., then you get the 5 points. If you don't do it correctly or it's late, then you will get no points on that. All right, if you have any questions, that gives you a while to look over it and to email me with questions or ask them whenever we're together in class. All right. So now you're going to need your periodic table, and then you're going to also need your calculator. And if you go in your Google Classroom, under classwork, and you come down here to quiz, you should see quiz molar mass. And that's what we're going to be taking today. I probably need a minute to open them up. I'm going to give y'all paper ones just a second, y'all. It has to be taken on a Chromebook because the Chromebook's locked. Okay, that one is open, and all right, they're both open. So y'all can go ahead and start working on those. You have 10 minutes to take it. Do not put anything in the chat room. I will not see it because I'm also taking care of my students out here. So if you have an issue, you need to take your microphone off and let me know. You have 10 minutes. So like I said, I'll have to print these out, and then I will get them graded, and you'll be able to see them in Parent Portal. And I should be able to have that done by today. So then for the rest of the period, you have a chance to review for your test. If you go under practice, atomic theory, and test review, and you open that up in quiz, then that has practice questions. It has some of every kind. It has some history. It has some subatomic particles. It has some molar mass. It has some average atomic mass, and also what we did on Friday and on Monday. I need everybody to make sure that they can get into quiz. If you're having trouble, go into your stream. I sent out links to so you can get invited again. I need everybody to be able to get in there. So Jasmine, you might need to look in your stream and see if there was, if I sent out and look for the request or the invitation to join so we can get you into the correct one. If you don't get into the correct one, then it's going to hurt you whenever you're trying to take the test tomorrow. So we're going to do this for the rest of the period to get you ready for the test. And then we'll see that tomorrow.